So we'll get started in just a minute. Please take a moment to click the subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications and all, so that you will receive updates on all of our ongoing episodes and special content. So I want to talk to you a little bit today to everybody in America, or for those of you that may have friends or family in America, some information that I think will be very helpful. It involves putting money in their bank account immediately, like within 7 days. And it's very time sensitive. So there's an incredible stimulus program in America, which is called the EIDL. Some people refer to it as the EIDL, but it's the EIDL. You can Google it, just type in EIDL loan or SBA EIDL loan, and that will take you to a link that you'll click on with the SBA website, which will provide you a link that you'll be able to use to apply for this loan. Now, this is what's important. A lot of people assume they're not eligible. A lot of Americans assume that because they're not a corporation, they're not an LLC, because they're a gardener and they're essentially freelancing in that way, and they're paid cash by clients, for example, or they're a painter, or they're selling products on eBay, making money that way, or perhaps they're a YouTuber and they're profitable and monetized and earning revenue on YouTube, or perhaps they're buying and selling antiques or swap meets or farmers markets. There are so many Americans that are in that situation where basically they are working, and also Uber drivers, for example, in America, and all the different types of independent contractors throughout America, insurance agents, realtors, the list goes on. Everybody who is self-employed is potentially eligible for this loan program. You don't have to be a corporation. You don't have to have employees. You can be a sole proprietor that goes to the swap meet. You can be someone that does garage sales every other weekend. You could be someone that paints houses, someone that does various types of freelance contractor work. So what I want to encourage you to do, please, before this money runs out, because it could run out literally at any minute. Suddenly, when you Google SBA EIDL loan, you may click on that site and find yourself at a page that says no longer taking applications, waiting on additional funding, etc., and it may be locked down. But right now the money's there. And if you apply for that loan as a sole proprietor, even, so I'm not really talking to the big corporations of America, just the sole proprietors that don't have an EIN, which is a tax ID number, that don't even maybe have a company name, that are essentially doing their own business under their own social security number, under their own name. You can apply for this EIDL loan, and you would simply state how much revenue you've had under the period that they're asking about, and also what your expenses are for the period that's being asked about. You enter your information. The name of your business very well could be your personal name, and the tax ID is your social security number. The bank account's your bank account in your name. So this does not have to be a big business. You apply for this loan depending on the amount of revenue that you've made and your expenses. You should qualify for at least $1,000, and you may qualify for $10, $20, $30,000 depending on how much you've made. So let's say that you make profit selling things on eBay and you make $4,000 a year, but you haven't been able to make money because of the COVID-19 pandemic. You would be able to apply for this loan, even though it's just your name and your social, no problem. You apply for this loan. Now, right now, the grant is no longer available temporarily, but it should be available soon. So when you apply, now this is a 30-year loan. The first 1 year, there's no payments. The interest is very, very low. $1,000 loan will cost you about $5 a month, for example, and there's no payments for the first year. A $10,000 loan would cost about $50 per month. A $100,000 loan would be roughly $500 per month. Now, there is some movement right now in possibly trying to get that interest rate lowered in the future. And in any case, either way, it's a great loan. Now, the beauty of it, when you apply for this loan, you also become eligible potentially for a grant, which is called an advance of up to $10,000. It's actually supposed to be $10,000, but the SBA has been essentially paying $1,000 per employee. If you have no employees, sole proprietor, $1,000 grant. So once additional funding comes in based on the stimulus plan that's pending right now with the U.S. government, and hopefully within a week or two that will finalize. At that point, there should be more grant money available, which means that when you've applied, you would potentially become eligible for the grant also, which is free money that you don't ever have to repay. of up to $10,000, and it just goes right in your bank account. If you go to that website right now today and you apply right now, there's a very good chance that that money will be in your bank account within 7 days. It's very important when you complete the application, make sure that you enter your name accurately, of course, your social security number, your bank account accurately. Now, just one tip, the bank account you enter, that bank account has to be in your name, and also the address on file with your bank has to match your address and be the same address that you list on that application. So if you list a bank account that has a different address at a PO box, but the address on the application is your residential address, that's not going to work out, and it's going to take weeks and weeks to get that fixed. So you need to use a bank account that has an address that matches the same address you put on the application, which most likely would be your home address, for example, for a sole proprietor. So this is for independent contractors that may be paid on a 1099 basis. This is for sole proprietors that are just paid directly to you in your own name. You may not have a business name or an office, and you just completely work freelance. This could be for Uber drivers. This could be for anybody that does business. You may have a push cart and sell sandals or shaved ice or bikinis on the beach. If you are self-employed doing things to earn money that's been disrupted by the pandemic, you are potentially eligible for this loan, and within a week you could have probably at least $1,000 in your bank account in the form of a loan, and possibly as much as $20,000, $30,000, up to $150,000 or more. So I'd encourage you to take a look at this and apply before the money runs out. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Thank you for joining. Please take a moment to click subscribe, the bell for notifications on, and also like if you found it helpful. Take care. Thank you so much. Goodbye.